What if I told you the real reason you don't feel confident has nothing to do with being shy, awkward, or insecure? The truth is, simpler. No one ever showed you how confidence actually works. You probably think it's about walking into a room with perfect posture, flawless looks, or being the funniest person at the table. Nah. Confidence isn't a magic trait reserved for those people who always seem to have it together. It's not luck, and it's not genetics. Confidence is something you build, something you earn, and something you can turn on at any moment, once you know how. And today, I'm breaking down 5 mental shifts so powerful they'll make you feel like you belong anywhere you go, without pretending, without forcing it. Shift 1. Stop acting, start owning. You've heard the cliche, just fake it till you make it. But let's be real, faking confidence is exhausting. Have you ever forced a laugh at a joke that wasn't funny, or pretended you were calm when your heart was racing? It doesn't work because people can sense a fake performance. Now picture this. You trip walking into a crowded room. One person panics, freezes, hoping nobody notices them face-planting. Right? The other? They grin, laugh it off, crack a joke, throw up their hands and say, "Guess I made my entrance." Who do you admire more? Exactly. The one who owned it. Confidence isn't about acting flawless. It's about owning the mess, the mistakes. Once you start owning it, you'll realize something even more powerful. That the thing we fear most isn't failure itself, it's what comes after. Shift 2. From failure isn't final to so what I had the guts to try. Think about the last time you stopped yourself from speaking up. Maybe in a meeting, maybe with someone you liked, because you were afraid of getting it wrong. That's the trap we imagine the worst-case scenario, like it's the end of the world. But failure is never as permanent as we think. Athletes miss shots. Musicians hit bad notes. Comedians bomb on stage. And yet they get back up. Try again, and people respect them more for it. Why? Because failure isn't the end. It's the receipt that proves you tried. At some point, we lost that boldness. Society taught us failure is shameful. But what if it isn't? A week later, you're fine. 6 months later, it's a funny story. 10 years later, you don't even remember it. And when you stop treating failure like a wall and start seeing it as a doorway, you realize something else. The real enemy isn't failing, it's comparing. Shift 3. From comparison to competition versus comparison to yourself. Nothing drains confidence like comparison. Scrolling TikTok, you see someone younger, richer, buying a new car and hitting milestones you're still dreaming about. Suddenly you feel like you're losing at life. But here's the lie. Comparison makes you feel like you're always behind, like you're losing a race you never signed up for. Life works the same way. Stop trying to be better than everyone else. Imagine treating your life like a video game, where the only mission is leveling up from your last save score. Micro wins is the fuel that keeps you motivated. Suddenly, it's not about beating everyone else. It's about beating your own high score. And when you play life like that and stop chasing their life, you stay hooked, because the only real competition is the person you were yesterday. Something shifts when you stop waiting until you're ready, because now every step forward counts. Which brings us to the next shift. Shift 4 from I'm not ready to I'll figure it out. This one hits hard. How many dreams have you delayed because you're not ready yet? Not smart enough, not prepared enough, not qualified enough? Think about the first time you rode a bike. Were you ready? Nope. You wobbled, scraped your knees, maybe even fell. But you figured it out. Let's be real, were you ready for your first job? Your first time behind the wheel? No. Confidence doesn't show up before you act. It shows up because you act. That's the secret most people miss. You don't need the entire path mapped out to take the first step. What you need is courage. The courage to begin before you feel ready to trust yourself in the unknown. Start and confidence will meet you along the way. And when you finally stop waiting for permission to start, you discover the most freeing shift of all. Shift 5. From seeking approval to giving yourself permission. This one shift hits the deepest. Most people live waiting for someone to notice them for approval and validation. But when your confidence depends on their approval, you give them the keys to your confidence. Think about the people you admire most. That coworker who dresses boldly who just owns it. The creator who unapologetic says exactly what they think. The friend who takes up space without shrinking. They don't wait for approval, they give themselves permission first. But nothing changes unless you do. Watching this video won't change your confidence. Doing something will. So here's your final challenge. Drop a comment below with the one shift you're choosing to practice this week. Not all 5, just one. Call it out loud and own it. Because when you declare it, you don't just make a choice. You start the transformation. And trust me, the version of you who shows up after that won't just change your confidence. How you walk into a room, it'll change how you walk through life. Remember this mantra. Confidence isn't a gift, it's a skill. Starting today, make the shift. Watch the next video, subscribe, and join this community.